Good afternoon to you virtual village hall people. It's time for a little bit of Mobilates with me, Kerry, from Mobilates, and we're going to have 30 minutes to ourselves for a mindful sort of practice, keeping it pretty gentle but still working. And you can stand, you can sit. We're going to be sitting on the floor and lying down, but you could also do that on something higher. I've got a firm sort of sofa bed here. You could do it on that. You could do it on a bed. Just take your duvet off first so it's not too soft. So I'll say hello to anybody who's watching live particularly. Hello Irene, lovely to see you through the screen. And anybody else who's watching like Irene, drop in a little hello, drop in a hi, a wave, whatever you like. And you know, I go through afterwards. I can't really type during the session, but I always go after class and just have a little thank you and just see what anyone said. So we've got practice today that's really getting us to think about left and right a little bit, more dominant and non-dominant side, and sort of mixing it up a little. Let's start with a little slow down though. Take your feet a bit wider. You can see mine are wider than hip width, certainly wider than back shoulder width. Could be sitting down. If you sit down, sit right back against your chair. If you're standing or sitting, let your belly relax a little. Let me suck it in. We can just let that soften. Just be a little bit more relaxed because I want room for your diaphragm to move down. And then just drop your arms down by your sides. Rest them on your legs if you're sitting in your chair. Sitting back a little bit. Get full support. And then breathing in and out through your nose. You can use your mouth if you like as well, I don't mind. And instead of your chest rising up on your inhale, I'd like your belly to swell a little. So aim it down there. And that just means as your diaphragm's moving down and then up, it's got a bit more room as it goes down for your lungs to take in more oxygen. If you've been rushing about, I recommend you blow the breath slowly out of your mouth. You can even close your eyes if it feels safe, or just let them go a little bit hazy, especially if you're standing hazy into the distance. Last one like this. Oh, I can feel my shoulders just dropping down, right? Bringing ourselves into a bit more awareness, bringing our feet in so that they're parallel. Imagine maybe a book between them, paperback book, perhaps, or a plank of wood. Same if you're sitting 2 fists apart. Spread your feet out a little. Feel the surface that you're sitting on. That's it. Stand a little taller. Bring the top of your head up a little higher. You're going to pull a string right at the back. Or just lengthen that spine. Open out across here. Let's start with some pelvic tilts. So if I take that arm back there, I'm just going to put my hand here. Another hand on my belly. Tucking under, tightening these muscles now. And then going forwards. This bit gets a bit longer. You see the pelvis. If I put my hand there, you can see my pelvis tucking under with my bottom, and then it just rounds the other way. And you can feel it. Is that Jean there? Hello, Jean. You can feel your back changing. If you've got a tight lower back, I'm sure a lot of you know what I mean. Often feels nice when you get that tucking under. But equally, some people in this position a lot, and it can get really tight the other way. Might feel nice when you're going the other way and arching a little. But either way you're doing it, you can have your hands on your hips. Keep it small. And then bring it to that magic in between place so it neither feels like you're really sticking out or you're really tucking under. You're in between. That's it. Open out your collarbones. Feel your shoulders. Go back a little. Give them a little wriggle. Bring the back of your head back. That's it. Feel tighter along here. It's a little bit like you've walked into water and this is just tightened up a little. And then we're going to take our head on a turn. one side to the other, and then back to the center and a tilt. And then a turn. I'm going to the other direction this time. And tilt one way and the other. Turn, starting the other way this time. Don't worry if you're getting these mixed up. It doesn't really matter. Just trying to change which side you go to first. Last one. Turning. That little tilt. And then take your head back. Feel those extra chins. Look, you can see I've got extra one under there. 1.5 maybe. And then just taking the head down. Tip of the nose down is good to think about. Who's that saying hello there? Kim, no worries. You've joined us. You've made it. Because as your head's going down like this and then up, what you don't want to feel is this sort of squashed feeling. You want to feel like it's long. And your neck's getting a little bit of a stretch at the back. And then roll to one side, back to the center, roll to the other. So it's like there's a bit of resistance when you're at this point. So rather than feeling like that, feel like you're pulling back and going down at the same time. That's it. Last couple. Oh, that feels good. And then starting some gentle shoulder rolls. So they don't need to be too big. Check in with how it feels. And then let's bring our breath into it. So as your shoulders are coming ready, I feel my hands are coming up as my shoulders go. So hands on my legs, breath in. And then as they go back, breath out. And concentrate about what's going on at the back. Just feeling what's happening there. Feeling your shoulder blades having a little hug inwards. That's it. Last one. And then taking those shoulders, those elbows back. And then just making it a bit more fluent. Let your knees be soft. That's it. If you're sitting in your chair, just the same. Just want to start crashing into the desk. So you're just feeling this just at the sides, in your waist, in your back. And you can take it slow, super slow. Or you can speed it up a little bit. And then bring those arms down. That's it. Really reach those fingers down to the floor. And then just let them come up a bit. Right. Flexing. Or extending, actually. Extending this way. You can see, hands just turn back. And you're going, if your hands are only there, that's fine. If they're going further than that and it's comfortable, that's okay. I'm on the edge of it being uncomfortable. And that's where I want to stay, the edge. And then I'm going to take it the other way. So this is the bending, the flexing. See? That shape. Taking it out to the side and then in. And then I'm going to do it towards you. So now I'm bringing my fingers up. If I started like this, fingers towards the screen. And then getting that bend in my wrists. Fingers towards the screen and that bend in my wrists. And then just a gentle shaking, circling, figure of 8. That's it. Just a bit of flow back in our hands right now. We're going to tighten everything up a little. Start with your feet, spread them out. Then press into the floor. Same if you're sitting, press right through your feet. Feel your legs activate. So if you're standing, they're going to feel a bit tighter and tenser. And if you're sitting, just the same. You're just pressing into the floor, but just feel everything tighten a little bit. Maybe you're sitting higher and you feel this bit starts working a bit harder. Right, arms are going in at your sides. That's it. Really feeling as much length as you can. So I'm just going to pull up a little taller. And then we're going to loom forward. So I'm rocking just forwards onto my toes and then back onto my heels. And you need this tension in this part of your body, in your legs. And just feel the weight through your feet. And then take it on a little circle. So that's what the standing looks like. The sitting, you've been backwards and forwards. Start that little bit of circling. You feel the weight change on your sitting bones, the bumpy bones of your pelvis on your sitting surface. Have a little pause and then take it the other way. But keep that height, so you don't want to sort of collapse into your chair. You want to really keep the height. Lovely. That's it. Hope you've gone the other way if you're standing as well. If you're feeling wobbly, you can take your legs wider. If you're feeling your balance is super good, you might take them closer. And then bring it back to the center. We're going to take our feet back to that hip width gap. And then we're going to take the arms forwards. Just gently up and down, straight arms, palms are facing downwards. And just increasing the range. We're going towards a backstroke. But if you find that you get to a point and you need to stop, you know it won't go any further, keep it at that range. And you might find one arm goes like much further than the other. You might have one arm that's got a really small range and the other arm's got a big range. It's all good. That's it. And if you've got more flexibility in your shoulders, you might find they go back a little bit. If you're hypermobile, they might go back too much. So just a little way back from the body is okay. More than that, it's probably going to the end of range. And if you're hypermobile, you might not want to go to that place. And then, just putting a little extra bit there. So we're just taking our arms round the sides. So you get to your backstroke and then arms around the sides. Backstrokes, like they're drawing a circle or a half circle. Each one's drawing a half circle and you're going a whole circle. Now we're going to be really contrary and change this up. So do your last one like this. Hold your backstroke. Change arms on your backstroke. And now, I think I've gone the wrong way. Now draw the circle the other way. I got confused there. I hope you've got it. It's one of those ones where, especially when I'm looking on the screen, I get lost and I can't remember which way. So hopefully it's worked both ways. Either way, the shoulders have had a lovely mobilizing. Last one like this. And then take it down. We're going to take our weight up into our toes, so our heels come up and down. Let's have arms up to the sides and down. If you're sitting, heel raise up and down. We're trying to stop the knees going in like that. And down. See, that arm can't go down on that side, the desk's in the way. If you did your arms the other way, it's fine. And then a knee bend. Now if you're sitting, I want you to do a little hinge forwards. So that would look like and you could even rest your hands here for that hinge forwards with a straight back. We're sliding down a wall instead if you're standing. That's it. Feels like we're birds about to take off. And then pause. And then we're going to start a little bend down the side, reaching down the side of your legs, down the side of your chair. But when you get to the centre, pull up tall. So, and you can keep it like this, or we can start to take an arm up. Tall in the centre, and then the other arm comes up. Next one's going to be different. Arms going over. Soften your knees, hinge forward slightly if you are sitting. And then we're just going to round our back and take the arm down and roll up. Same arm. So just soften the knees if I show you from the side. See my knees soften. Arm goes over. Just circling a small bend at the top and the arm goes down. Let's go for the other side. Just soften the knees, arms over. Just rolling forwards, rolling up. It's like a little roll up. Same on this side. And then that's it. If you're sitting, or should I say sitting there, just start sliding your hands along your thighs, your head with your body. If you're standing, start to take your feet off the floor slightly as your arms are just moving around. And then start to take your legs wider. If you're sitting, start to take your legs wider and float your arms around them until your legs are really quite wide, wider than shoulder width. And then pause there and turn your feet outwards. I want you to lunge slightly on one side and the other. Your knee is going over your feet, over your toes. If you find that your knee is coming inwards, you might need to bring your feet in a little to go with it. If you're sitting, you've already got those knees bent. So leaning to one side, leaning to the other. Keep your bum nice and heavy, sitting bones nice and heavy on the chair as you lean over. So you don't want you sitting bone on that side to come off. Lean over, lean over. We're going to start bringing an arm across as well. That's it. You can even start to take a foot off the floor and go from one to the other. So you can still take your foot off the floor if you're sitting too, or point it and lengthen. That might be nicer. You can take your foot off the floor. You can see there's my foot going off the floor, but it feels nice supported just with that toe pushing away. Get a nice length and stretching the leg. Couple more of those. And then bring your arms inwards, bring your legs in. Just start to swing your arms forwards and backwards. Bend your knees if you are standing. And then we're going to hinge forwards a little. So keeping the back straight, the bottom is going back. If you're sitting, if I show you from the side, and you can start to take it upwards, looking up at your hands a little. Last one. And then make your way downwards. So you might want to combine it with one of these and then make your way down like that. You may like to take your time getting down, I don't mind, but I like you sitting on your surface, and this actually can work on a chair as well, so you can stay on a chair if you want to. I'm just going to move my mat back. If you're sitting on a chair, I would sit right at the front of the chair. And I'll just take the camera right down to the mat with me. And we are going into this sort of position. So legs, I'm going to give you choices, options. Feet can be on the ground, but if that feels a bit tight in the legs, you can turn them out. And your feet can be on their sides. What's important is you feel comfortable sitting upright. So you can really change the legs to wider. Could be like that as well. Whatever feels the most comfortable, I don't mind too much. If you've got them bent, you might be able to put your hands underneath them. And we can sit up tight. And you're going to just curve this lower part of your back. Pull your belly back, round in the back slightly. Rolling forwards, looking at your knees, sitting up. So this little roll back. Rolling forwards and sitting up. Rolling back. Rolling forwards and sitting up. And one more, rolling back. Rolling forwards and sitting up. And then let's stay upright this time. So we're not going to curve like that. We're going to keep the spine straight. So it's more like a hinge. Change your legs if you like. Just rest your hands here. Just hinge back a little. Doesn't need to be much. Could have your hands under your legs if that helps. Lovely. And then we're going to change our leg position. I'm going to come a little bit closer towards you. So I'm facing you. Take your legs outwards. So could be straight, could be bent. So if they really don't like being bent, really don't like being straight, then it's fine, and they can be sitting out a little bit. They don't need to be super wide. So a bit wider than your shoulders, that would be lovely. And then bring these extra bits of thigh and bottom outwards a little, so you feel like you're right on your sitting bones and you're sitting up. You can even be on a cushion. Pull your feet back a little bit. That's it. And then we're just going to put our hands on here. Bring your chest up and down. Small movement. Breathe in. Bring it up. And down. One more. In. And out. This time we're going to bring our arms up. They can be soft. Might be looking up slightly. And then we're going to bring our arms down. Do a little turn. So I've got one hand coming between the legs there, just on the floor. The other hand almost a bit behind me. Bring the arms up. Turn to the centre. Take the arms down the other side. Flex your feet towards you. That's toes towards your nose. Just keeping going on that changeover. And we want the feet to stay where they are. We don't want them to sort of move like that. Just concentrate on bringing those toes back and keeping yourself sitting up. Just getting that little bit of turn in the spine, keeping it small. And then come back to the centre. Rest your hands back on the chest. Turn to look down one leg, but keep your bottom heavy on both sides. You don't want one side to go up. And then we're going to have a little bow towards our knee. And bring it up. Come back to the centre and bow towards your knee. Coming up, turn the other way, bow towards your knee. Now as you bow, this side tends to feel a bit lighter, like it's trying to lift up. Try and keep it as heavy as you can. One more, little turn and a bow down. And then you might want to put your hands behind you, bend your legs, give them a little bit of a rock from side to side, a little sway. They just work pretty hard. Take them a little bit wider, dipping the knees down. That's it. You might even like butterfly sort of legs when your feet go together and they just bounce like that slightly. That's it. And then we're going to lie ourselves down. So I'm going to come a little bit closer so I can see you nicely. And you can see me. So take your time going down. You don't really need anything under your head because we're going to go up into bridge in a moment. And it's better to have a flat surface when you go up into a bridge. But first, just spend a bit of time getting into contact with the floor or the bed or whichever surface you're on. And I've got a rug, I've got a really soft mat and like quite a thick one. Another mat on top. So yeah, go for a bit of luxury. Roll your head from side to side. Give your pelvis and your bottom a little wiggle from side to side. And then we'll just open our arms in a T just to settle our shoulders and our back into the floor. Bring your knees and feet together. And then take your heels out to the sides, toes forwards. And then you're in that same sort of alignment that we have when we're standing. Bring your hands into your belly. Breathe into your chest. As you breathe out, feel your belly tighten. And then rock your back into the floor. So the back of your top, the back of your leggings or trousers pressing into the floor. And your pubic bone starts tilting upwards because of your bottom tilting up. And then roll forwards on the breath in. Little space pops up at the back. Breathing out, roll back. Breathing in, roll forwards. Breathing out, roll back. And breathing in, Just rolling forwards a little bit, just so it's at its sweet spot. And then take your arms down by your sides. We're going to roll up a little bit higher this time. Breath in. And as you breathe out, take it up a little higher. So you might bring your bottom off the floor. Now I feel like my feet are a little bit far away. So I'm going to take it down, just rolling my spine down. So each bit, or I'm aiming for each bit to roll back onto the mat. Just going to take my feet back a little bit more. Breathe in. Breathing out, feeling that pelvic tilt, so rocking, turning upwards. Now I can come a bit higher. And you're pressing through your feet. Your glutes start to come in when you get high, but it's not your glutes leading the way. This area is like nice and tight, tucked under. And then when you get to your highest point, we could be here, could be lower, that's fine. I want you to imagine that we've got like a marble, we're going to roll it. I'm going to roll it towards you. So my hips have tilted. And then back to the centre. So this is nice and steady. And then roll it the other way. Back to the centre. And take yourself down. Rolling each part of your spine down. There's a lot of rolling going on. Breath in. And then take it up. Curling up. That's it. And this time, I'm going to take it the other way. So I'm going to tilt it away from me. There. And then nice and even. And then the other side. And nice and even. And then slowly, slowly, slowly taking it down. We're going to come up again. Breath in. Breath out. Roll yourself up. So rippling up. Now, it's changing. Hands are reaching downwards, lightly pressing through my arms, but not much. I'm going to take this heel, I'm just pointing to it, up a little bit. But I want you to keep this the same. And then take yourself down. Keep that heel raised. Keep your bottom tucked under like we normally do on these sort of rippling down, these articulated roll downs to the floor. And then that foot can go down right at the very end. Keep both feet down, breath in. Breath out, tilt your pelvis, roll yourself up to the height you want to go. I'm going to go a bit lower this time. So I'm in contact with the floor here, and then if I just pull this here, you can see this bit's not in contact with the floor. Now the foot on this side, heel is going up right onto the ball of my foot. And now I'm going to roll my spine down like I am a little person walking down the staircase. You want to feel each vertebrae trying to get in contact with the mat. And then when everything has come down, you're level here, then that foot can go down. One more each side, breath in. Rolling up both feet on the floor. Take that foot up. You can take it up really right onto your toes. You could even take it off the floor if you like. That feels pretty challenging doing that. So just a little heel raise will work really nicely. And then roll it down. Keep this as even as you can. Makes things work just a little harder as your body's trying to steady itself out. One more. Rolling out. This time it's my left foot. Heels coming up. Roll your spine down. Foot's going down. Arms are going out in a T. Let those legs have a little sway from side to side. Well done. Lost a lot of concentration for that one. And then slightly different. I'm going to slide this leg long, so my left leg, slide it long. I'm going to bring my other leg right beside it, so the foot's beside the knee, and I'm lengthening the foot on this long leg. And then I'm going to take this leg across and let my body roll over a bit. So how far it goes is up to you. That's it. You can take it over a little more if you want. And then bring it back the other way. Swapping the feet over. bring the other foot so it's nestled next to your leg. Lengthen the extended leg so that foot's really nice and long. And then twisting over the other way. Now your head can go to the same side or it can roll in the other direction. That's nice as well. And then unravel yourself. Bring those legs in, into your chest and start circling outwards. So it's like you've got a sort of steering wheel on each knee. You're just controlling it with your hands. Giving yourself a little lower back massage. So this curves the spine upwards and then sort of settles and widens it into the floor. And you can even take it into a happy baby. So do that. You can put your hands at the back of your legs here like this. Have a little rock from side to side. You can take it higher up your leg if you've got that sort of flexibility and it feels good. You might even take it to your toes. I think I'm going to keep it on the back of my legs and just let my legs just flop and relax. And then I can go for that nice wide rock from side to side. And then let yourself roll onto one side and push yourself up. I just need to change something on my screen. Take that out. That's it. And get yourself into a comfortable seated position. So for me, this sort of cross-legged position is more comfortable. And then just take a little time to have a breath, just like we did at the beginning. Slow breath in, slow breath out. And let your legs feel a little heavier, your bottom feel heavier, your head feel a little bit lighter, your back a little longer. Open your eyes, arms out to the sides, and just starting to lean to one side nice and soft. Try and push your bottom into the ground so it's not coming up with you. Just hold it there and breathe into that big stretch. And then breathe out the other side, and coming over. And take it to the middle. Swap your legs around if they're crossed. If they're just like this or like that, don't need to. But you need to swap them around if they're crossed. We'll do that again. Place your hands on your chest and just rotate from one leg to the other, sitting up on those sitting bones, nice tall spine. We do a lot of turning like this, hopefully nice and gentle. And then take your arms out to the sides, palms upwards, breathe in, take them up. Breathe out, bring it into your chest. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I'm going to come through and have a quick check who's been here, say hello, but otherwise I shall see you next week. Have a good week, everybody.